one, and we're coming up to the no caution zone. Once that happens, there will be no more cautions, and these guys will have to deal with whatever outcome that it is. So they're gonna have to be super careful, but yet make moves that get them into that victory. Man, but that's tough. We had Scissor Blades who made up a couple of positions, but once he got on that outside, he got left out. There's a lot of space between him and Ferrari Nut, who fell back. Does not have any help, so he's just gonna have to hang on for dear life until he gets some help behind him. That way they can move back up, but Scissor Blades at the end of this lead pack.
We have now entered the no caution zone.
We have, and Justin is your current leader. He does have teammate J-Mac attack directly behind him. Are they gonna stay together, or what are they gonna do? Will J-Mac try to make his move for the win? Man, I'll tell you what, 49er, they have a lot of people behind him. We have Wow, That's Garbage. In the third, we have Aries in fourth. We have Flow Dog in fifth.
That was close.
What happened, 49er?
Just as you were talking about Wow, That's Garbage and running down the field, Aries came and his nose went underneath Wow's tail in the left rear, and I mean, he saved it. He backed off. Oh, J-Mac.
J-Mac touched that apron and made it on the outside. Wow, That's Garbage and Aries. They made it safely past him. That puts Justin without a teammate. J-Mac trying to sneak his way back down and having a little bit of contact with a couple of guys on the low side. He's going to have to tuck his way back in the back of the pack. These guys are not going to give it up. J-Mac gets into the wall just a little bit, finds his way back down, but Wow, That's Garbage. He is just waiting to make a move, try to capture that win. He already has a win along with Aries, so he needs to watch his back right there.
Wow's going on the outside of Justin. Oh, he doesn't have it.
That's it. That is the race.
Oh, Justin won!
That's crazy. I was so involved. So Justin is your winner at Homestead 150. Absolutely incredible couple of laps. Wow must have captured second. We have Aries, I think, in the third. I'm gonna have to get confirmation on that. 49er, that just went by so fast. All right, guys, just a quick mic test. Make sure everything is going good. 49er, how you doing tonight?
I am fine, Miss Frozen. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm ready for tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SnB's IndyCar Series, race number 4 here at the Grand Prix of Homestead. This little over 2.25 mile track holds a challenging turn 1 as we try to get 16 eager drivers safely through after reaching max speeds of about 222 mile per hour, all the way down to 72 mile per hour for this important turn that is going to set you up for the rest of the lap. So far, we've crowned 3 different winners this season in 3 races. The question is, will we add a 4th to that tonight after 33 laps here at the Homestead circuit? It's going to be an interesting race. I'm excited to see it. But before we get to that, we have a driver spotlight tonight, and that is with veteran driver of the number 86 car, Duke the Rebel, who is currently 10th in points, racing for Honda team Raging Redneck Racing. How you doing, Duke?
Doing pretty damn good.
Glad to hear it. Are you ready to get started?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, let's do it. For your first question, what aspects of driving do you excel at, and what do you struggle with?
Okay, so for driving, I excel mostly, well, this is mostly in the racing aspects of it, obviously, but I excel at watching where my opponents are weak at during a lap around the track while I'm staying behind them trying to plan out my moves. And so, and oh yeah, sorry, I messed up my words there.
It's all good.
Yeah, I have this all written down, but it's still hard to say.
I hear you on that. All right.
So
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. So for the second part of that question,
Yeah.
I struggle, funny enough, with staying consistent in hard racing situations. Like when I'm in an intense battle for position, when I'm trying to make the moves stick, I just end up overshooting the turn or something, or braking too early.
Yeah, that's something I struggle with too in this type of racing. Not so much in oval racing, but here it's hard to know when somebody else in front of you or behind you, when their braking point is, when their, on the gas point is. So it's hard to make sure that you're not on somebody's bumper or killing them going into the turn. So I can totally see that.
Yeah.
All right, Duke, what is your favorite type of racing? Are you yawning over there?
Yes, I am.
You're not allowed to
Sorry.
yawn. All right, what's your favorite type of racing?
Without a shadow of a doubt, it has to be the purest form of stock car auto racing, plate racing at the super speedways of Daytona and Talladega. My specialty in oval racing, as a matter of fact.
Ah, very nice, very nice. I'm a fan of that, so I like it. All right, for your third question, as a veteran driver, have you changed how you handle yourself and your driving style on track, or has it remained the same?
Oh, this is the question I was looking forward to. As a veteran, even though I've only been around one season, but I have been in multiple Forza leagues as of this point. The only thing that I really changed is that I've had to race harder and slightly more aggressive than I used to when I was battling for position, because a lot of these guys are really hard to get past. I won't name names, but a lot of them are very, very tough defenders.
Right.
In terms of when they defend for position. So I've had to use a little bit of Rubbins racing, as my teammate would say, short track racing. Shout out to you, Hayden.
Yeah.
But I don't really go for the bump and run sort of thing. It's not really my style. I have accidentally done that to a few people, especially last week, as that happened to many people last week. But it's all fun and games in the end. But really, it's all just Rubbins racing at this point.
Right. Fair enough, I would definitely say. For your next question, what is your goal for this season?
Well, to put it bluntly, it's just to win a damn race just to win a damn race.
And that is a good goal. I hope you get that goal this season. That would be amazing. Sorry, Frozen, I talked over you. No, you're fine. And the competition is insane, so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to win a race for the Tifosi, which is Ferrari fans.
Nothing wrong with that. All right,
Since most of my paint schemes are based on Ferraris.
Are they? Well, I'll have to make sure to check that out each time.
Yeah.
Awesome. For your final question, if you could do any race over again, which would it be and why?
Funny enough, it was actually this race last season where I surprisingly found myself in the lead after a lag caution and after one actual caution and a lag caution, where my pit strategy actually helped me out, and also I lucked my way up to first place, where I got a good gap on everyone behind me, but one that it is burned into the lore of this league, I'm pretty sure, where I screwed up turn 1 with 2 laps to go, shooting out into the grass after overjudging my turn into the first part of the corner where the pit wall ends.
I do remember that.
And still managed to finish second after fighting off a hard charging axe with, let's just say, very, well, I wouldn't say desperate moves, but very necessary moves to keep him behind me.
Mm-hmm. It happens, and I remember that race. Man, it was such a tough race because you were out there in the front, and it just sometimes it happens. You mess up, and stuff happens. So hopefully we can get you to the winner's circle sometime this season and get you up here in the booth for an after race interview for the winner's circle there.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that it will be like a track that I know really well, like this one, or possibly the Indy Oval race, because I had good luck there last year, even though that race was a complete and utter whirlwind of emotions.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, that is it for the interview with Duke. I appreciate you being in the booth, and I wish you a ton of luck going into tonight's race at the Grand Prix of Homestead. It should be an amazing race. How you feeling going into tonight?
Honestly, I don't know, because I mean, I've seen all the other guys' lap times. I've heard what they've been running. It's kind of off-putting tonight, but I'm really just gonna try to be as safe as I can at this track, because engine damage is the highest level of concern for this track, in my experience anyway. But really, I'm just trying to stay out there, not try to cause any wrecks, just get through the race, hopefully in one piece, and just see what happens, I guess.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I think they are waiting on you and a couple others to ready up for qualifying. So I wish you a ton of luck going into tonight's race and qualifying. And I hope you do really well.
Yep. Thank you.
Of course. All right, 49er, you ready tonight for 33 laps of craziness?
33 laps of intensity, of craziness, of you name it, whatever we could think of. I mean, I love ovals. I actually like this track. I would never drive this track, but I actually like this track because it never fails to produce an exciting race.
You know, it's so true, and it is a little different than what we've ran in the past. We're doing the alt route this time, so it is a little bit different. Some of these guys were at first practicing the one from last season, so they had to change that up. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. This track is pretty easy besides turn 1. That is the biggest spot that we're going to have to look out for. But for those in chat, I do have betting out. We are getting ready to go to qualifying, so if you want to wait till after qualifying, you're more than welcome to do that. But for now, I'm going to put a bet in. It's hard. There's so many great drivers out there, so this will be very interesting. We'll see what we can get this week. I do want to give a quick shout out to everyone in the stream. AJ, what's up? Mike Boy and Michael Sobieski. I hope you guys are doing well, and everyone else who is out there watching, I hope you enjoy the race. 49er, we have to talk about last week before we get moving, though.
Ooh, yeah, I can't wait to talk about last week.
It was a crazy race. It was the Homestead 150, and it was a race filled with a few cautions and some flared tempers. As oval racing goes, drivers were on top of each other, and they were all battling for the lead. Justin, he managed to hold off Garbage for the win. They were side by side. Garbage got second, and Aries ended out rounding out the top 3 for the podium. But man, what an incredible race they had. And I know some issues happened, and like I said, we had a couple of aggressive drivers out there, but might have created some rivalries, 49er. But I think tonight is going to be a smoother race.
Yeah, I'm it would be funny if we have this modified circuit race, the alt, here at Homestead in Miami, and we have a minimum amount of cautions, and we did an oval last week, and it was like crazy. And yeah, anything could happen. I'm just ready.
Yeah, that's oval racing for you. These guys are getting ready to go to qualifying. They will be ghosted, so they can just practice running those laps, get that thing wound up, and get the fastest they can. What you can expect here, about a minute 2 to anywhere to a minute 4. These guys are going to get around 17 laps on fuel, but you heard Duke. He is a little concerned tonight about engine damage. Something interesting, you have to watch that and how you handle, shifting and everything else. So they're going to have to keep their eye on that and make sure they take care of their engines. Otherwise, with damage on, you're going to have to do a pit that you don't want to do to come fix the engine damage. And obviously, that is not a good thing.
Yeah, and so they should be used to the damage because we've been running with that. But even still, it's unpredictable because You know, the slightest touch or bump going into a turn, if you're side by side and you're not willing to give, that can cause some damage. Then you were on an alternate course of the road circuit for Homestead. So, and you know, it just adds to more of the racing intensity. The drivers that aren't familiar with the new course have to learn it, and hopefully they've given themselves enough time to practice. And then something that I wanted to touch on earlier that adds to this is, like you said last week, there's some animosities going on. Hopefully nobody's holding a grudge, but there's nothing better than a great race with some rivalries.
Absolutely. We're out here on deck with Duke the Rebel, our driver spotlight, and guys, this is the turn I'm talking about, heading into turn 1. These guys go from about 222 mile per hour all the way down to 72. Imagine trying to fit 16 drivers through this safely and without a caution. Is going to be an issue tonight. A lot of these tracks, turn 1 is just an issue all around. So as long as they can get through that, I think these guys will be good to go, but might be pretty shady the first couple of laps. But so far, we have Wow, That's Garbage. We're only on lap 2, so they're going to get faster, but he's got a minute 5 just on that warm-up lap. So these guys are definitely warming those tires up, trying to get everything they can, get that grip moving, and we'll see the times coming out as they go out of here. Yeah, BDF with a 1.02.5. The guy is flying. He is the fastest so far. We still have to get some of these guys over the line, and we'll see if anyone can beat that time.
Yeah, and let me ask you, are you surprised that BDF has such a fast time? I mean, BDF has, you know, he hasn't had the best luck in the recent races, but he's still been involved in some intense racing, and his name has been called out a few times. So, yeah, let's see what's going on.
You know, from my standpoint, BDF is extremely fast. He is always very competitive with those top guys. The thing is consistency. He tends, when he gets in a field of a lot of guys, I feel like he gets nervous, as in he doesn't want to hit somebody, or he's being too aggressive, and it seems to get to him a little bit. He can put those fast laps down, but he just needs to get that consistency going, and this guy will be running a lot more races. But right now, I am not surprised he's got the fastest time. We'll see if he can hang on to it, because that, I mean, he just increased it. He's a 1:02.4. So this guy got even quicker. We just need to get that consistency down, and he will be good to go.
You know, consistency is an important thing, and I'm sure that when BDF is driving, and especially in the last couple of races, if I remember correctly, he started out in front or in the middle, and then something happened, and then he had to work his way from the back to the front. And then, you know, I mean, are you thinking about consistency, or are you thinking about driving the wheels off and trying to get back up front? I mean, something in BDF's head when he's in the back trying to make up may kick in, and like, okay, what is it? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than beg for permission.
I mean, that's true. And there's so many different circumstances, but consistency, I feel like, is key. You can have those fast times all day long, but if you're making mistakes and getting into people, it's just going to hurt you in the long run. And it's something that I feel BDF has really improved on. And so if he just keeps pushing it, it's going to go well. Now, the big thing here is,
push it good.
does he have a clean lap? And it looks like everyone, let me double check. Everyone but Dion, who got a DNF, has a clean lap, so BDF should be out on the pole there. Let's see if we can find any other 102s. Looks like he is the only 102 out there, so let's go down to the next one at a 103. I mean, this guy is absolutely flying. We have a Ferrari nut with a 103.1. That might be your next fastest lap time, so he should be on the outside of BDF with Wow closely behind. Hayden Salmon's out there with a 103. There's a lot of good faces out there. Duke the Rebel, 103.5. 104's out there with Larry Monkey, who is filling in. Let me double check who he's filling in for, even though I just told you. He's filling in for Scissors, and we have Boosted, who is filling in for Nate.
Look at Skyland with a 103.9.
Yeah, you know, these guys, a lot of close times, and I'm really impressed. Every last driver got a clean lap, and that is very important. We've seen for a couple of races now that some drivers that would have been on pole, they couldn't get the clean lap, and so they had to go to the back of the field. You gotta get that clean lap, and every one of them did it here today, so they should be patting themselves on the back right there. But great job to them, and 49er, we're gonna get ready to go for some Homestead racing for 33 laps. Should be pretty exciting.
I'm ready for this race. I didn't even know there was an alternate course to the Homestead Speedway, so I'm excited to see how this looks and how this plays out. Hopefully, you know, the veteran drivers probably have, you know, been on this course before. Hopefully the ones that haven't been on this course before have gotten enough time in where they can, you know, have a competitive and a good race, and I'm ready. Let's do this.
Absolutely. You know, and I feel like this is the easier track, so the guys shouldn't have too much problem with it. The only difference is a little chicane that they took out. In 3 and 4, you're just going to use the oval part of it, so it should be pretty easy for them. But for those in chat, if you want to place a bet, now is the time to do it, because we're getting ready to shut it down. You saw BDF on poll, so if you want something, if you want somebody and you want to root them on, be sure to get those bets in. Pair Edits, just want to say a quick hi to you. We're getting ready to go green here. All right, final call. We're gonna stop it there and get these guys moving on. I don't know. Let's check on Aries, see if he was able to make it in. I don't believe he was. Unfortunately, he is trying to drive home from work, and I think he is missing the race. "49er, who do you think we should look out for tonight?"
You know, I mean, after last week's race, granted it was an oval, but there were just so many, you know, different drivers that had a shot at winning. I mean, it could be anybody's race. I think, you know, Duke the Rebel may be somebody that we want to look out for. Scissors may be somebody that we want to look for. Someone that, you know, has competed in previous races, maybe will have some kind of an advantage today. So I think maybe keep an eye on one of those two.
I agree. It's going to be very, very close. But here we are. We're going to go ahead and introduce these guys. We have on pole BDF 48 Gaming. He is in that number 10. For Redemption Racing in that Honda. He's sitting out there on pole, and he's looking pretty good tonight. He is the only 102 out there, so great job to him. In second, we do have Ferrari Nut in that number 62. He is out there racing for Nighthawk Williams Racing in that Honda. In third, we have Wow That's Garbage. He is out there as Ferrari Nut's teammate for Nighthawk Williams Racing. He's driving that number 6. In fourth, we have Leaf Justin, who is in the number 24 for Racing A Racing. He's sporting that Chevy out there. In fifth, we have Duke the Rebel, our driver spotlight. He is in the number 86 for Raging Redneck Racing. That is a whole bunch of R's.
Yeah, it is.
In sixth, we have Season 3's champion. That is the J Mac Attack in the number 1. He is out there racing for Racing A Racing. In seventh, we have Flow Dog. He is in the number 81 for Fluffball Motorsports, and I swear that is just the cutest name.
Yeah.
I
would love to be in the debate about that name.
In eighth, we have Hayden Salmons out there with a strong time. He is driving that number 15, and he is racing for Raging Redneck Racing. 49er, if you want to take it away.
Sure thing, Frozen. So ninth place, we have Skyland driving the 04 Chevy, the second half of the Fluffball Motorsports. Don't let the name fool you. This guy can drive. In 10th place, we have a fill-in driver, Mr. That Boosted EG, driving whatever he's driving. He's part of the, he's a fill-in part for the Slice and Dice Motorsports. He's filling in for Nate. In 11th, we have Votek, part of the A-Tech Racing, driving the number 76 Chevy. And 12th, we have Larry B the G. Where's Larry? Larry. He's part of the Redemption Racing, BDF's partner, driving the number 73 Honda. And 13th, we have, I'm not even going to mess up his first name. I'm just going to call him Monkey, driving the other part of the Slice and Dice Racing, filling in for Scissors for tonight. Thanks for filling in, both of you guys. And 14th, we have David Mc1989. He's driving the, where is David? Come on, David. I got to do it right. There's no need to fear. Underdog Racing is here, driving the number 89 Honda. 15th, we have Dion for Dub, the other Underdog Racing teammate, driving the number 42 Honda. And Frozen, that is your field.
That is your field. These guys are safe to start the pace lap. We will have a pace lap at the beginning and at the end, but it is 33 laps of racing. So these guys are good to go. Alpha, I want to give a quick shout out. I know you're rooting for Justin. I know, that's awesome. He will appreciate it. But man, once these guys get moving, BDF will count them down around the final turn and they will get moving to green. They're out there 60 mile per hour for this pace lap. Alpha, you guys, tell me who you're rooting for in chat. I gotta hear this. I know who you're cheering for. You know it's Justin. We've got a fan. Absolutely. A lot of these turns are very fun to take, but man, oh man, it takes a lot of concentration to get these turns down right. Especially, I've talked about it a couple of times, that turn 1 is going to be an issue. And I think 49er, as long as we get through turn 1 on this first lap, we'll be good to go.
Frozen, I think you're absolutely right. And usually, you know, like with this one and the Daytona circuit, the first turn is turn 1 is always the I gotcha turn, because you know you get going off the oval and then all of a sudden you got to make that turn into turn 1, and if you're not expecting it, then it could bite you in the butt. So yeah, turn 1's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And there's so many fast guys out here. They're starting to line up double wide as we head into the final turn. BDF will count them down after they get through this oval part. But it's going to be interesting. And I know BDF, he just wants to be consistent. He wants to run it solid. But 49er, Ferrari Nut is not going to let him go with any kind of mistake. He is going to be right on him. Along with Garbage, these guys are going to really challenge him. And BDF is going to probably be doing some defending to keep that lead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but would it make BDF feel any different if he knew that second, third, and fourth are previous race winners? I think.
And they are. And he's going to try to make it, but they are off to go. All of them get a fantastic start. They're going into this first turn. Let's see how they go. Ferrari Nut gives him just a little bit of a bump. Side by side, we had Wow and Ferrari. These guys are making it through pretty solid. I'm very impressed. I don't want to jinx anything, but they're doing good. Ferrari caught the grass just a little bit. 49er, that was very close. He lost a spot because of that.
Frozen, I'm riding with Justin right now, he was in a battle up until this last turn with Duke the Rebel. They were side by side, Duke trying to take away position from him, but that last turn, he made a better decision and decided to drop back and go single file because it's still early in the race, and he'll have his he'll have more than enough chances throughout the race to get back side by side and make some moves.
That's so true. And, you know, we have a nice line here. We have BDF in first, Garbage in second, Ferrari Nut in third, Duke the Rebel moving up to fourth. And this guy did not sound like he was too excited about how he felt going into this race tonight. But man, look at Hayden just latching on to those brakes. That is definitely going to put some pressure on those right there. A little bit of tire wear coming into issue if he continues to do that. But these guys are on top of each other once you hit fourth and on. Very tight racing back there.
I'm still riding with Justin. There's a nice little line going on here, you know, first through fifth. And it looks like there's a nice line. Somebody's in the grass in the back. Let's go back there and see what happened.
While you do that, I'm going to take a look at Flow Dog, who is directly behind J-Mac Attack. Flow Dog is in seventh right now. He is 2 cars behind Leaf Justin. These guys are on top of each other. You see Sky behind him. These guys are single file, starting to spread out just a little bit. But you can see on the track map, there is quite the difference. Yeah, first crossing over that finish line, while the back of the field is just now getting into that oval section.
There's another car on the side of the road, on the side of the track. That's Hayden down in the apron. Looks like he's trying to muster some strength to get back to the pit. And it looks like Monkey, who was back. Is he gonna? Monkey just went into the pits as well. He was the one that was in the grass.
That's interesting. That is a ton of damage for Hayden Sammons. He's obviously going to have to repair that. I'm not sure. I'm guessing that these guys had an issue together. I'm surprised the caution hasn't come out, but I don't know if it was something separate. But for now, they are still going green. Let's see what these guys are going to be doing. Here they go. That will bring out the caution. Caution is out. BDF is still your leader. We have Wow, That's Garbage in second. Duke the Rebel in third, from what I'm seeing. These guys doing some racing, definitely. I hear a lot of commotion going on in Discord between these drivers. Pit road will be open next time around, so we'll see if we have any takers as we are on lap 5 of 35.
I'm sure that Hayden and Monkey are very appreciative of the caution that came out, because it keeps them still on the lead lap. They were able to avoid being lapped.
Yeah, and Monkey and Hayden, they both pit early, so they are going to have to move to the back of the field once everyone else goes in, since they went early. But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see if we have any takers. Kaysen, we have our caution counter out and alert. He is already at caution number 1. So unfortunately we missed what happened with that caution, but man, we saw the damage on Hayden Sammons and Monkey, and it was not good. So hopefully they can get that situated and we can get back going to green. Aries is out there saying, not happy I couldn't make the race. That's 2 races behind.
Aww.
Yeah, that's definitely going to hurt him in points. But interesting enough, Aries, after missing that first race, came back and did a fantastic job and just got tons of points, which really helped him out in the point standing. So keep the faith, Aries. Keep the faith.
Aries, you want me to write your boss a note so you can get out of work early?
There you go. I'm sure they would love that.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be very nice. Like, look, man, my man Aries needs to leave early, so you need to let him go now.
We have quite a few people on pit road. We have Monkey, we have Dion, we have Votek, we have Sky, we have Flow Dog. So these guys will be catching back up to the front pack here. But like I said, you can run 17 laps on these tires, so we'll see if they stay out. I think if we have another caution, which I'm hoping that we don't, but if we do, I think we'll see a few more come in and try to make something happen with that. But for those front runners, yeah, there's no reason to come in and risk the position that you're in just to get fresh tires and fuel. It is too early in the race to be doing that for those guys.
You hit the nail on the head, and you know, the person, obviously he wasn't going to go in. The person that, you know, I feel kind of, if you have to put a label on it, suffered the most from the caution was BDF, obviously, because not only was he in first, but he was opening up a good bit of a lead on the rest of the pack, the rest of the drivers. So, you know, and now you've got him in first, Wow in second, Duke's in third, Ferrari's fourth, and Justin's in fifth. So, you know, BDF's got his work cut out for him.
Absolutely. We should be getting to go green. As soon as we get around this turn, we're going to have BDF count us down to the green. Then we'll get out of this caution, but like I said, guys, we're going to have to watch out for turn 1. It is definitely going to be an issue, but I think after we get past that, these guys should be good to go. We're going to turn the caution off. I hear him counting them down, so get ready, guys. They are starting off single file. He's going to have Wow, That's Garbage directly behind him. And off we go. We're back to green. BDF gets a fantastic start. Wow, That's Garbage goes back just a little bit. Looks like we're almost going to go 3 wide going into that first turn. They were really testing it, but we do have someone in the grass back there. 49er, who you watching?
It's one of those. I'm still riding with Justin, and you know, we have touched on it earlier, and even though, you know, we're 7 laps into this race, give or take cautions, turn 1 is still going to be a factor, because when you're getting up to speed and you're on the oval part and then you go into that first turn, as Duke was in the grass for a little bit, lost some speed, and now Justin's all inside his exhaust pipe. And who's that on the outside of Justin?
The outside, I do believe that is probably J-Mac that was out there. He should be behind him now at this point, but J-Mac was going side by side with Justin right there. All the meanwhile, Duke the Rebel was right in front of him. A little bit of contact between those guys, but they are off and running and getting ready to go back into turn 1 on lap 8.
Look how they're in single file. I mean, I'm getting excited because maybe the cautions will be to a minimum, because everybody's kind of thinned out right now, and packs are forming, but everybody's still racing good, and it's a single file.
Absolutely. You know, we say single file, but Votech and it looked like Pert and Monkey were going side by side. I heard a little bit of commotion, a little frustration from, I think that was Votech. We have Votech and David going a little side by side there, but quickly going back to single file. But that is a lot of racing back there for even 13th place. These guys are really on it tonight.
J-Mac making an aggressive and impressive move, trying to get past both Duke the Rebel and Justin in a single turn, but he couldn't get the turn completed fast enough and get back on the gas, and they were able to get back in front of him. But so Duke is still in 4th, Justin's in 5th, but J-Mac just took it as they go into turn 1. Justin's still trying to get his spot back.
Yeah, those guys. Justin, he actually put on the brakes a lot earlier than J-Mac. I think he was thinking, I don't want any part of that, going in there too wide. That's crazy. But J-Mac, he was up for the challenge. He was not backing off. And that gained him a spot right there. Duke the Rebel, he is in 4th, but man, these guys are really fighting for these front positions. They do have quite a line behind him, and 49er, look who's out there in 7th.
You know, you look at Larry, and each race he's been in, and keep in mind he's a rookie, he's been impressive for still learning the track, still learning how the car drives and handles and everything. And he's at different points of every race that he's been in this season, that he's been somewhere up front at one point or another in contention for the race. So I'm not surprised he's up there. And good luck to Larry. Keep driving the wheels off that thing.
Absolutely. I mean, this guy is extremely fast. I feel like he's kind of the same as BDF, as he just needs to get that consistency and gain that confidence when racing around others, and this guy will be competing for wins. I'm really excited to see where he goes this season. I think by the end of the season, his confidence will really grow and his driving skills will be way up there. So I'm excited for him. He's looking really good out there.
I agree with you. And, as we get towards the end of the season and it's time to, start thinking of names for hardware, I mean, I don't see any reason why Larry couldn't be a contender for Rookie of the Year, Rookie of the Season.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to have quite the challenge, though. We do have Aries out there as a rookie. And I feel bad for the guy. He has missed 2 races. That really does put a hurt on it. But man, look at Hayden and Larry going side by side. Contact. 3 wide. Sky, Hayden, and Larry. Larry gets put into the grass. Absolutely devastating for him. Hayden Salmons into the barrier. It's just one of those things. You're going into that turn and it happens. That is turn 1 for you. You really have to decide. Am I really going to go in here 2 wide and possibly 3 wide? Or am I going to let off of it and we'll fight it out on another turn?
Absolutely. You couldn't have said it any better, Frozen. And that's exactly what it boiled down to. You're still lap 11 of 35. To live to fight another day. There's still more laps. Hit the brakes. If they overtake you, you can get the spot back because you're going to be right behind them. But now it looks like Larry's maybe have some damage because he's having trouble now. He's in the grass again.
Yeah, I really feel for him. He has to bring that back to pit road. 100% damage. I mean, this guy is just struggling to steer and everything else. I feel bad for him. That's completely devastating. But I'm loving what I'm seeing in chat right now. We have Notorious Nate out here who cannot... He's not out there racing. He's got boosted racing form. He says, wait till I get back. Larry will be struggling for Rookie of the Year. I like your attitude, Nate.
There you go. There you go. And there's nothing wrong with some fun yet heated competition because everybody wants to, not only win the trophy for the season championship, but if you're doing really well and you're a rookie, I mean, you still have something to fight for. So yeah, I love to see that drive and that, I want to win something too, so look out.
Absolutely. We're watching your fill-in right now. That boosted. We've raced with this guy many times. Very talented. He is currently in 8th. He is about 700 feet behind Sky and about 1,200 feet in front of Hayden Salmons, who we saw had that earlier incident with Larry. But boosted looking so far so good as he currently sits in 8th. Who are you watching, 49er?
I'm back here in the back of the pack, watching Flow Dog and Larry B the G as they 14th Larry, 15th Flow, as they fight to continue to drive a good race and everything, but they got the lead pack on their tailpipes.
They do,
and they're doing the best they can.
Yeah, and we have a lead change. Garbage has taken over first, with BDF falling about 248 feet behind Garbage. These guys are headed into turn 1 once again. Larry B the G into the grass. Flo going side by side gets wrecked.
Oh boy.
Man, oh man. These leaders just running into lap traffic, and it is just causing a ruckus out there. Garbage makes it on by, but BDF about 30 feet behind. That was tough right there.
Yeah, it was. It was. And, I mean, it could have been worse. There could be cars still spread out all over, but, they were able to somehow maneuver around Flo as he got spun, and it just happened to get spun in the right direction, and they were able to drive past him.
Yeah, you can hear the frustration though. Just a really tough spot to run into some lap cars. And let me check the damage, see if he's got any damage out there. I'm not seeing anything for Flow Dog. I don't know if it's luck or maybe a glitch, but he looks okay at the moment. But standings wise, he is going to be in last. '49er, we have a battle brewing up for first. Once again, BDF is all over garbage. He has taken a peek on the outside, trying to see if he can make something happen. These guys are going too wide into the turn. Wow is going to have that preferred line. He drives BDF out into the grass. This guy was not letting BDF take it. BDF saved it, and he had to hold back a little bit.
Yeah, I just happened to be, as Wow had to hit the brakes a little hard, almost gave BDF a chance. But I had just gotten up to BDF to watch this race, this battle for first between the two of them, as you said it. And yeah, you're right, there was definitely a battle.
There is, and BDF is getting a hard time from the front and the back right behind him. Man, that is a tough one. Let's take a look. I want to see if Ferrari Nut went in. Yeah, he must have gone in because he is falling back. Wow is still out there. We still have BDF out there. We should be getting close to running through the pit cycle. We're on lap 16 of 35. Lap 17 is, the norm for what we're going to see here. So I don't blame Ferrari Nut. Let's go in. Let's change the tires. Let's get the fuel in there and get some clear air coming out there.
Oh, wow, a little hard on the brakes just for a second. BDF is peaking. He's waiting for that opportunity.
Another thing these guys are going to have to look out for. We have WoW and BDF directly on top of each other. They're going to have to make sure that they communicate when they're going to go in for pit road. BDF is in. Yeah, WoW is out there solo. Actrovision, what's up? Yeah, these guys are right on top of each other. WoW is, he was giving him quite the challenge. I'm hearing from BDF, he is beyond frustrated. The pits did not take him, 49er. It spit him out, did not give him anything. So he is going to have to come around again. That is going to absolutely kill his race.
And like we said earlier, BDF, he's a great driver. And, the consistency and stuff, that's a driver thing that has to be worked on. But, when you go into the pits and it doesn't take, and you have to go around again, that's just one of those things. You should fire your pit crew, BDF.
Yeah, that is a tough pill to swallow right there. That is one of the things about Forza's pit road. If you are in those top spots, we talked about it last week, if you go in too fast into pit road, it can very well make you go past your stall. And it will spit you straight out and not give you anything. And I do believe that is what happened right there, which is completely devastating. Yeah, Aries talks about the glitch. It is definitely there. Actrovision, I am doing great. Enjoying this race out here. We're on lap 18 of 35. 33 laps of racing, and these guys are already halfway through.
Oh boy, Frozen. That's gotta be, I don't know what you're hearing in chat, but I'm sure if BDF's not saying anything out loud, he's banging something where he's at, because that's gotta be frustrating.
The radio is silent. BDF, all I heard from him was several times, "You have got to be kidding me." Just repeatedly, and then him just saying, "It didn't take me." And I didn't want to hear it. I had a feeling he was going to say that, but man, that's rough. That is rough, and it is all silent on the radio.
I don't mean to laugh, because that sucks, but that's just, what else can you say, What else can you say?
And Actrovision brings up a good point. He says he's glad it's a thing. It stops people from abusing pit lane. you know, I see your point there.
True.
That is true, but then it is something that those top drivers that qualified really well, it's hard for them because everyone else can just fly in there and they're okay. But for people like him who qualified in those top spots, they have to watch it, they have to slow down, and that's obviously going to add more time, which is exactly what they don't want to see. So I feel like if you're going to do that, there should either be a pit road speed or that glitch should somehow be a glitch for everybody.
Yep.
After pit cycles, we have Duke the Rebel out in first, Sky in second, that Boosted who is filling in for Nate. He's up there in third as all these guys are rounding around the pits. Hayden Salmons in fourth after an earlier incident. Ferrari Nut, who went in first, I do believe, he is currently in fifth.
I don't know if he's gone in yet. I doubt it. Probably he hasn't gone in yet, but just the fact that Duke is in first, yeah, and he was your spotlight driver today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you go, Duke.
He's gonna have to come in soon. Those tires are screaming at him. They're at about 69-70% there. He's got 36% fuel. He's holding on pretty good though. He was a little worried about engine damage and from him shifting or whatever else may happen with that, but he is looking really clean out there. So I'm impressed. He's looking pretty good. But I have a feeling next lap he will be going in. I think 49er, what we're seeing is on that first caution, he might have been one of the ones going in. I'll have to check with him on that, but he is currently in first. Right behind him, we have Larry B. the G, who, while I was talking about him, I don't know if I gave him the booth jinx, but he got put out in the grass by another driver, and he is just struggling to find his way back.
And it's, I don't want to say that we jinxed him by talking about him earlier because he was having such a good race. And it's still, there's still enough time, but he's got a lot of ground to make up. It's unfortunate, that he had the little mishap incident with Hayden.
Yeah. Notorious Nate asks, will the points that Boosted gets this race, will it go towards my points? Notorious Nate, yes it will. That will definitely go towards your points and will help you. So that should go
towards me.
Notorious Nate is probably like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, right, buddy.
Yeah, that'll definitely help you out. Otherwise, Nate, there's just no reason to have a fill-in for you. So that is definitely a good thing for you. Actual Vision says, I would literally sat right next to pit entry at Indy. You know what? I live about an hour and a half away from there. Been there several times, and it gets quite interesting. I've been able to walk up and down the track and along pit road. It's a very cool experience, but yeah, there's some funny stuff that goes on. 49er, we still have Duke the Rebel hanging on to that lead. I mean, he is out there just very comfortable where he's sitting. 28% fuel, about 80% on tires. This guy is going to start really feeling it. And as I say that, he dives right into pit road with Larry B. the G directly behind him.
He had to go in sooner or later. I mean, he's driving a really, really good race, but, there's no getting around it as I'm riding with Skylan, who's your new leader, as he's coming up on Larry B. the G, who had an issue going into turn one again and ended up in the grass, but he fixed it. But Skylan is your new leader now, Frozen.
Sky is your new leader, and behind him we have Boosted, who is your fill-in for Nate. He is about 900 feet behind, so he's got a little bit of space between him and the second place, but he has a couple of lap cars, one in front of him and one behind him. So he should be pretty good to go, but he will have to make his way around Larry B. the G if he continues to catch him. We'll see what happens. Actual Vision says, I kissed the bricks. They tasted awful. You know, I would imagine after all the years of racing on there, it would be pretty nasty tasting. I don't
think it would taste good even if you poured the milk on it.
It would probably taste even worse with milk on it, I would imagine. I'm not a big milk drinker, so I'd have to do a hard pass on that one.
Oh, man. Hey, dude, watching the winner of the race pour that milk all over his face instead of drinking it, I was insulted.
You know, and I bet there was a lot of people that felt that way. We have a couple of takers here for pit road. Let's take a look. We have Boosted, who was in his second. We have Votech, who is currently sitting on pit road. But these guys should be coming out shortly. We have Dion in 11th, about 2,200 feet behind the leader. But let's take a look. We still have Sky as your current leader. We have Ferrari Nut in second after the pit cycle went through. We have Wow That's Garbage, who has moved back up to third. Duke the Rebel in fourth. And we have J-Mac in fifth. Side by side for fourth place, we have Duke and J-Mac. Justin and BDF directly behind him, but I'm hearing some communication over the radio. Duke pleading with J-Mac to just give him some space. He is not liking how close the racing is going, but I'll tell you what, that's just racing, boys.
Yeah, please don't crowd me. Please, come on. Duke, you're a capable driver, man. You can do it. Hold on to that wheel. Wow, who was that just hit Justin in the back? Where did he come from?
Look at J-Mac diving underneath Duke. So close.
And look who joined the party, Frozen.
Yeah, there is a battle brewing up here, and it is for fourth place, and there's a lot of drivers going for it. These guys on top of each other, and Duke the Rebel is just trying to defend that. J-Mac keeps getting a look on that inside. So far, he is not able to pass Duke, but it's not going to be too much longer here.
And welcome to the party in seventh place, BDF. Trying to be a part of that fourth, fifth, and sixth position mix as he tapped Justin in the tailpipe again, coming out of the final turn as they get into the oval part of the track.
Yeah, they are. And here's the tricky part going into turn one. We'll see how J-Mac, he gains a whole bunch of momentum coming into that turn. Justin right behind him, and BDF. Huge competitors right here. Such a battle. We are on lap 26 of 35. Justin all over J-Mac's back bumper there, and BDF doing the same with Justin. What a battle.
Oh, there goes BDF on the outside.
Side by side, BDF and Justin. BDF takes over sixth place. Justin falls back to seventh. And meanwhile, while they're fighting it out, J-Mac is getting away just a little bit as he's catching up to Duke, who is currently in fourth. Who are you watching, 49er?
I'm still watching this battle between, well, it was between Justin and BDF, and it was between BDF and J-Mac, but, you know, there's a little bit of space, but they'll get close to each other again as we go through the alternate circuit part of the track. You know, we've said it before, you know, we love to watch the races up front with the leaders and all, but usually the best races, the best packs and intense racing are right in the middle, and these guys, Duke, J-Mac, BDF, and Justin, they're proving that point.
You said it, 49er. I want to bring the battle up to first right here. Sky is out there in first, and let me tell you. What do you see, 49er?
BDF, I don't know what happened, took a turn wrong, and Justin got his spot back, but now we're in the final turn as they come back out on the regular part of the Homestead Oval and the backstretch, and BDF took his spot back. Like, okay, you can have it. No, I'm just kidding.
Before we get back to this battle in first, Notorious Nate, thank you so much for the sub. You are awesome. I wish you were here tonight. Actrovision, I am not a milk drinker. Rip Building, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. But 49er, let me tell you something.
I'm with you, Actral.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Milk does a body good.
I can't do milk. I just can't. I don't know what it is. If it's chocolate milk, sure, why not? But no, regular milk can't do it. We have Sky out here, though, and he is currently in first. But let me bring up the damage. He is at 22% fuel. This guy is just hanging on by a thread as long as he can. Tires are at 59%. I don't know how he's hanging on to this car so long. I'm kind of curious if he's going to be able to hold on to it until lap 35. I don't see how it's even possible, but he has Ferrari Nut coming up right behind him pretty quickly. I want to take a look at this battle. You can see how much Ferrari Nut is gaining on him, and right behind him we have Wow That's Garbage, who is definitely going to be challenging for the lead also. 49er, do you think we're going to have Sky go in soon?
Well, I mean, he might as well now because Ferrari just took over first. Well, he had it, and Skyland took it back. But yeah, he's gonna have to. I mean, I'm sure he's looking at everything. You know, his tire wear, his fuel, and everything. And I'm sure he's trying to figure out. Yeah, I know I need to go in, but I want to hold on to this. And he's thinking, you know, trying to figure out if he can stretch it. But he's gonna have to go. Bottom line.
That is so true, and these guys keep switching positions. Mike Sobieski, I just saw the red on my screen. You both are just a beautiful shining red, so apparently I got you confused. I am sorry about that. But Sky, Ferrari Nut out here in first. He did pass Sky. Sky is just hanging on by a thread. He's got Wow That's Garbage putting on those brakes, trying not to get into Sky. These guys going side by side to battle it out for second. Ferrari Nut, in the meantime, he's getting away just a little bit. That was a fail. It's all good. I'm sorry. So our top three are going to be Ferrari Nut in first, Wow That's Garbage in second. Third is Sky, and I'm telling you what, lap 30 of 35, this race has flown by, 49er.
Absolutely. I just looked up at the track lap info myself and saw that it was we are just now 31 of 35. So yeah, this race has flown by.
It has. You know what? A minute two. It doesn't take much to get through this lap, and you have 33 of them, so it doesn't take very long at all. And these guys have ran a very, very clean race. Complete contrast to what we saw last week at the Homestead Oval. You know, it's expected. These guys are at an oval, and such tight, close quarter racing is going to happen. But I am impressed with how Sky is just holding on to third. Just absolutely no tires and no fuel. I don't know how he's going to continue out there, though.
Like, are you looking at his tires and his fuel when you say no fuel? Like, will he have to get out and push, or is he going to have enough to, like coast to the finish line?
49er, it is so bad. He is at 10% right now. We're on lap 32 of 35. He's gonna have to go in. If he holds on to this, I will be very, very shocked. But he is doing a heck of a job holding on to it so far. Virtual Auto Sports. Sorry, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. That is awesome. Absolutely amazing.
That's cool.
49er, what were you gonna say?
Picking up some more followers and subs, Frozen. That's how you do it.
Y'all are amazing. Seriously. Lap 32 of 35, though, 49er.
Yeah, I'm watching. He doesn't pose a problem now, but Skyland is coming up on lap traffic. Mr. David, MC 1989 or 1899 or 1999. But what I was going to say was, you know, you look at the distance between third, where Skyland is, and fourth, and maybe he's going to try to push his luck.
he's making me nervous. I'm telling you, if he can hang on to third, and he's got 7% fuel, I just don't see it. But Sky, he is a number cruncher. If anyone can do it, this is the guy that can do it. So, while I'm over here probably more nervous than he is, man, he's down to 6% already. We'll see. We'll see. Fingers are crossed for you, Sky. But man, you are really pushing your luck out here. Guys in chat, do you think he's gonna make it? I have to know.
I know, right?
Let's take a look at that current leader, though. 35% fuel. He is in no worries. Good to go. He is about 500 feet in front of Garbage. So, this is the final lap here. He just crossed over for 34 of 35. If he can hold on to it for the remainder of this lap, he will be your winner here at the Grand Prix of Homestead. So that will be his second win. We've had 3 different winners so far this season out of 3 races. I'm not sure that we can make it 4 different winners here because he's already won. And the guy behind him, his teammate, Wow That's Garbage, he also has a win. So either way, if one of these 2 guys wins, that's going to be 2 for them so far. All right, these guys are rounding out the final part of it. Sky, he's at 2%.
1.6, 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2. Count
Let's
it down.
get Ferrari
1.
past the line. He's your winner at Homestead. Congratulations to Ferrari Nut. Wow, That's Garbage in second. Can we get a Sky past the line? Amazingly enough, this guy does it. He is at 0%. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Woo, man. Wow. That's incredible.
That is insane. And we have an extremely excited Ferrari Nuts. He is out there yelling, and I'll tell you what, if Sky is out there yelling also, I will not be surprised because, man, what a race. He coasted across the line. That dude had straight fumes coming out of there. Nothing left. Somehow he is still driving out there. I don't know. I'd assume, nope, they are under a cooldown lap, so he still does have fuel, amazingly enough.
I think he's got a hole cut out in the floorboard frozen, and I think he was doing like the Fred Flintstone.
Look at him. Man, I'll tell you what, that guy had me guessing the entire time. I was pretty nervous for him, but we have BDF in 4th, Duke the Rebel in 5th, J-Mac in 6th, Justin in 7th, Boosted filling in for Nate, he's in 8th, 9th is Botek, and 10th is Monkey. 49, you're killing me.
I'm sorry, I'm watching Ferrari. He's just like down the front stretch, spinning, bouncing off the wall.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm thinking for our 4th interview, perhaps bringing in Larry. I want to hear about his race and how he was doing so well and what happened with him. So we'll get Ferrari, Garbage in here, Skylin, and then we'll also get Larry. We'll let these guys finish it out though, but man, oh man, what a great job. Aries says, good job, not surprised on the winners. Good job, Skylin, for stretching. And I'll tell you what, I don't think he could have stretched it any further. Like I said, that guy is a number cruncher.
Anorexic.
It's incredible. He did great.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is. They're rounding out the final turn here, and hopefully we can get back to the lobby and I'll start inviting these gentlemen in. You could just hear the excitement in Ferrari's voice. Very cool. All right, Ferrari, Garbage. Let's get Sky in there. Man, I just gotta hear about this fuel. This guy is just so brave. And then, where's Larry? Where'd you go, Larry? All right, let's let these drivers get in here. Ferrari Nut, how you doing?
That's how I'm doing right now.
I wish I could have flipped on over to Discord to hear you shouting, but I mean, it was obvious you were extremely excited. How'd the race go for you? Were you feeling pretty confident going into tonight's race?
Yeah, fairly so. I came home on my lunch break today and I'd actually practiced on the wrong version of the track last night, so I was working off of 20 laps of misinformation. So I came home on my lunch break, ran some laps around this version, and then instantaneously within 15 laps, which is about all I could do on my lunch break, was doing a 102.5. So I looked at the leaderboard after that, and I was like, okay, I might be pretty okay here. So I hadn't turned a lap all week before that point.
That's insane.
And then
so
just
you didn't, yeah.
And just dropped into the seat. Literally, I worked 2 minutes from my house, dropped into the seat about 5 till, and then just picked up the controller and went.
You know, you and your teammate are doing a heck of a job this season, completely dominating as far as points go for teams. You definitely picked a good teammate out there. How do you feel about next week's race?
Long Beach is my turf, and if anybody can wrench it from my hands, props to them. But you're in my house.
I remember you saying that last season, so I'm excited. As long as Aries and all these other guys, BDF and all these other top guys, can show up, I think it's going to be a heck of a battle, and they will definitely give you a challenge for that. But man, what a great race tonight. Were you concerned when you saw Sky and how much he held on to his car and that fuel?
I was a little perplexed at first. I was like, he's surely not going to try and go with the distance on this, and he did. It just didn't quite pan out for him, but I think he picked up a few spots because of that, so it was a net gain. It just didn't quite, I think he was about 1,000 to 1,500 feet short of what he needed, which is not all that much, to be honest, in these things. So it worked pretty well for him, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But I was a little perplexed more than concerned, because I saw how quickly that both of us were catching him. I was like, we're going to get by him. It's just, I was curious as to whether or not he was actually going to make it. The one thing that really kind of did concern me, the one thing that did concern me was that the lap before the caution, I kind of sent it a little too deep into turn two, and just went off in the dirt, lost a spot, and had to come back from that. But I just had I had a plan in mind at that point. I was a little on the edge of do I really want to kind of short pit here, or do I want to split it down the middle like Garbage is planning on doing, like we talked about. But I kind of dropped in a couple laps early, and then it paid out, because coming out of the pits, he was just exiting the pit lane, and there I go screaming by. So it panned out.
It surely did, and you ran a heck of a race, so huge congratulations to you. Great for points, obviously, and I'm excited to see you at Long Beach next week. I know that it is one of your very, very strong tracks, so I wish you a lot of luck there. But for tonight, congratulations, and do some celebrating.
Well, as Alan Jones once put it, I'm going to take the Aussie way of doing things and have a beer, because whether it's to celebrate or commiserate, you're probably pretty safe off doing that.
Nice.
There you have it. You heard it, guys. Ferrari Nut 94, the winner here tonight at the Grand Prix of Homestead. All right, 49er,
Deuces.
bring on Wow.
All right, Mr. Wow, and you didn't hear me say it, but I said it a lot today in this race. Wow, Mr. Wow, are you there?
Yep. Mic check.
Mic
Check,
check.
1, 2.
My mic sounds like 1, 2. First of all, obviously congratulations to Mr. Ferrari, but congratulations to you. You guys got a really good thing going on here. So talk to me about your viewpoint of the race.
Yeah, first off, congrats, man. That was a good run. Your point of the race was just cruise control, really. I just wanted to bring it home clean. I didn't have a whole lot of time to practice throughout the week this week, so I planned on keeping it clean and at least bringing it home in one piece. I know we're good on points, so.
Yeah, you guys are formidable opponents. Now, you was the change in track, the alt course, was it new to you, or had you driven it before? Did it throw you off, or were you ready and comfortable?
Uh, all these are pretty much new to an extent. As you guys know, I haven't really ran this game a whole heck of a lot since the NASCAR ordeal, but and yeah, you learn to adapt and overcome. So luckily, I have plenty of experience throughout most of the tracks to be able to do that.
Dude, you sound so chill. Do you drive like that too? Because no, I mean, it just in this
I mean,
race
you
and in the
you
other
watch this,
races.
do I?
Well, I mean, I'm just listening to you now, and it's like, man, like I can picture you driving like, yeah, I'll get you back. Don't
I've
worry. Yeah,
done
man,
this a
it's all good.
million and two times, man. It's just another race. That's all they ever are.
Well, I mean, and that's a good way to look at it because that way you don't make yourself too nervous, and you're a seasoned veteran driver anyway, so nothing phases you. And congratulations again. You got the second place, but you guys are doing good on points, another podium finish. So my next question to you, since we asked your teammate, how do you feel about Long Beach?
Uh, I feel like the gloves are off, sir. I'm about to take that Ferrari guy down.
And I'm excited to see this. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm super pumped.
There you have it, folks. The challenge has been laid down.
Oh, geez. Well, congratulations, Garbage. Another great finish. So great job out there.
Absolutely. Good job.
All right, Sky, are you with me? Are you still running on
I'm
fumes
here.
out there?
And something like that.
I'll tell you what. You
EDF
had
had to push me
me.
across.
Did he really? Oh my gosh. You had me
Yeah.
and everyone else guessing. Were you concerned that you weren't going to make it, and what made you decide to go for that strategy?
The fact that I was in the same boat as Ferrari and did not practice for this race. I was moving all week. So I ran a few laps, I think, on Monday after last week's race. And then I ran maybe 5 or 10 laps before we started tonight. And I was way off pace. So I was kind of looking at the glimpse of tire wear and fuel consumption that I got in that very short test and looked at how many laps were left and figured I'm not going to gain anything on speed, so let's try it.
Yeah, I mean, the strategy, obviously very, very risky, but it ended up paying off for you. So I gotta hand it to you. I would not have enough confidence or kahudas to pull off what you did tonight.
Like who goes and says, let's practice, pretend like we don't have any gas and run 5 laps.
It was really just a gamble. I even jumped on the mic to warn Nick, hey, I'm just going to try this. I'm going to gamble on this one because I don't have any other cards to play, so all in with a crappy hand, and let's see what comes of it. This time the house went my way.
Yeah, I mean, all considering, it definitely paid off for you. You brought home a podium finish as third. So great job to you tonight, Sky.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yep, that's impressive.
All right. We had to bring Larry into the booth here. Larry, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
You know what? I was on board with you as you were battling it out. You're doing pretty good. I believe at the time it was in 6, if I'm not mistaken. What happened between the contact with you and Hayden, and how did that affect the rest of your race?
Yeah, obviously it's hard when you know you can maybe fight for a good position and you're trying to take it cautious, but take it too cautious and it can bite you sometimes. You can end up ruining your own race and maybe another person's, so that's what happened tonight.
You had a good car. I want you to keep that confidence because you had a really good car. You were looking so strong out there, and just one incident, it can ruin your race. But I'll tell you what, you have the speed. If you can get that consistency and the confidence around other drivers, man, you will be just blowing doors off, going by people. But I want to tell you, you did look really good out there, and it was really exciting to see you racing with all those guys and in sixth place at the time. So I gotta ask, how do you feel about Long Beach next week?
Well, I'm feeling alright about it. It's a track that I know fairly well, but I haven't really driven it that much in these cars, and especially with the transition to no ABS, might be a whole new world for me. So we'll see how that goes.
Absolutely. Well, guys, you heard it from Larry B. the G. He is the rookie, one of the rookies of Season 4's IndyCar series. So a lot of luck to you guys. The top 3, you guys did amazing. Ferrari Nut, once again, congratulations on the win. That guy is probably off having a beer right now celebrating, but it was a great race tonight.
Absolutely. It couldn't have gone any better, and we only had one caution?
I think so. That was it. We had our caution counter out there, and I think it stopped at 1 caution.
This, and let's lay out the things that happened. Skyland running on fumes. BDF was up front leading the race for a little bit, and then he had something happen to him, and he dropped back all the way to the back. And I pointed it out in the beginning that it wasn't a coincidence that when he was in first at the start of the race, that the 3 previous winners were behind him, though 2 of those being Ferrari and Wow. So it made for an exciting race. And then I think Skyland had like a fuel hose pouring gas cans into his car from the cockpit of the car so that he could race across the finish line.
You've seen Days of Thunder,
then,
right? A fuel line that can hold an extra gallon of gas.
Yeah,
There you go.
Exactly.
That's exactly what you
and
had.
It's exactly what you had. I think you had like a 6-pack of Coke cans that were filled with fuel, and you were just pouring them in there. Something. You did something, man. I don't know. And then we pointed out how good Larry was doing in the race, and then all of a sudden he had some a little incident with Hayden. So I mean, there's just so many things we could talk about in this race, Frozen.
It's so true, but that is racing. All these guys did a great job, and next week we will be headed to Long Beach, same time, same day, Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you can join us. Until then, you guys have a great night. I want to thank everyone for joining in for the stream, for the cheers, for the subs, for the follows. You guys are amazing. And I can't forget to crown the winner here as far as the betting goes. So we'll announce Ferrari Nut as the winner, and I bet on him, so I actually made out on that one. But that is it for us tonight. Monkey Dust says he got a top 10. Congratulations to you on that. He was a fill-in tonight. So great job for you on that. But guys, we are
Good
over
job.
and out. Absolutely. Take it easy, guys.
Have a good night, everybody.